What do you think about the guys this morning?
Oh man, I'm proud of those guys. I'm so proud of Jake's growth. He's looking so well rounded, and because I kind of had the most time with him. And then Pat is always such a good, he's so coachable. Instantly you call for something, finds a way to work it into the game, and it's not to the point where, you see some guys, you call for something, and then their opponent speaks English. We're intelligent people, and they do it instantly in a way that's not disguised, not set up, and the opponent knows what's coming so they can counter it. He's still able to utilize what advice you're giving him, set it up in a way that you're able to disguise it and make it his own. That's also something I'm liking the most I've seen with Jake, just kind of making it his own with the striking, mixing it up, kind of have those shot entries. He looks well-rounded. I mean, that's honestly the main thing I can say. He looks like an all-rounder, and that's something that's rare to see, coming up nowadays. People still have slight specialties, but to have almost all aspects look like they're on the same level, at least from outside looking in. Of course, everybody has their little areas that they might still prefer, but from what I saw, it looked like everything was almost a complete circle. And then Ralston, his wrestling, his takedown entries, and his way he sets things up is always really beautiful. I'm looking forward to seeing how Mike's able to implement his game. I know he's starting to get a feel for it. He's starting to actually get his entries. When he was able to implement his game plan, I think that's the best version we've seen him. So just being able to get that confidence up with him, to be able to implement his game plan, when he gets there, make the fight how he wants it.
I think the biggest thing with all of them is they're getting closer and closer to realizing they are a factor in the fight, and then they just have to implement, stop worrying about what the other guy's going to do. Because whatever it is, he's going to do it. Whether he does it a lot or does a little is up to you. The more you stay neutral and allow him to cross that threshold and work in combos, he's going to do a lot. It's up to you to shut that down. And that's where you were talking about the varying the ranges from long to short, keeping the guy off balance, playing your game, you'll be fine.
I mean, it's honestly, it's like Mortal Kombat. If you play a guy, you get a guy, they're just spamming you, and then you hit that breaker, and it just throws off the rhythm. You're able to take that momentum back and able to implement your game plan. So I think that's probably the most relatable that people can get. Because I know you played somebody that's hitting the same move, they'll do that little low kick, and trap you in the corner. But then the game eventually gives you a chance to break that, still momentum, and kind of get it back. And that's what I feel like we need to start doing a lot more as fighters. A lot of guys do it. That's why I love broken rhythm fighting. I love feinting so much, because it gives a different layer, and it doesn't allow them to just keep their momentum going and start to build. That's something I like actually a lot with AJ. I was working with him a lot. He was asking a lot of questions, taking some of the things, He one of the combos that I use for a clinch entry, he's like, hey, how do you do that? How do you set it down? How do you do it? And he tried to do it against me in my sparring round. I was like, how dare you? But it shows that, he was able to get it and process it and try to make it his own. I was like, I'll take that as a compliment. I feel like I did a good job if he was able to actually be able to use it against me.
I think what one of the things I want to see the growth in the guys is they're acting like students, but not students of the game. So when two coaches get together, I had the privilege of training guys over at Elevate MMA. The absolute most enthusiastic person in that room was Cody Maltan.
Yeah.
Because he's still like a student, but he's a student of the game. So he was literally jumping up and down and smiling, and that's because we're exchanging information. I'm seeing what they're doing, and I'm like, okay, here's how I would use it. Just to give another variation.
Another layer, yeah. But that's how I felt about when Jake showed, when Jake gave the add-on to how Pat's variation was. And I was like, I never thought about doing that. I was like, wrestling is not one of my deepest. I was like, I didn't know you can do that.
But that's an example of what I'm talking about. Two students of the game are going to still do what they do and look at the other thing and see where the go-between is. Where guys like AJ and Mike, they're still like students waiting for me to dish out more information.
Yeah, it's the controller. They're still waiting for you to plug the controller in.
And I'm like, there is no more information. It's time for you to get actively involved in the ebb and the flow of the concepts and the philosophies that we're talking about.